It is day 9 of zero caffeine, no caffeine. And today, what I want to talk about is my gratitude for this journey. I had a message today on WhatsApp from my brother, from my youngest brother, and he was telling me that these videos have been making him, realize about his own caffeine use, and he's been tapering off, he's been having a bit of decaf, and he's just ordered his rooibos in, he's just ordered his LMNT sodium, potassium, electrolyte mixes, and he's going to get off the caffeine. He's going to wean himself off the caffeine because it's hurting him. It's frazzling him out. He's realized he's burning the candle at both ends. And I've got to tell you, this is why I do these videos, because I want to help people, right? I want to just bring to light, things that we're doing subconsciously, unconsciously, our settings, our patterns, and they're having a knock-on effect. They're not helping us in our life. And for that one person to be my little brother, to be somebody that, I've grew up with, I've known since he was born. I went to the hospital the day he was born, and got to meet him. And I remember the phone call when we got to this. I remember the phone call, looking at the wall to find out if it was going to be a boy or a girl. I'm 11 years older than my little brother, and we got told boy. I was so happy. We were loving it. Me and my twin brother, and then my sister were happy, but I think she wanted a girl. But for this person to say, hey, your videos, to even show that they're inspiring him, and he's thinking about doing things differently because he wants to get himself better, he wants to feel better. This is what it's all about. This is what it's about. Who'd have thought stopping caffeine would have been able to give you this feeling? But it's like what I talked about the other day. We're always watching, aren't we? We're always watching, and we either watch a good example or we watch a bad example, and we either decide to follow a good example or we decide to follow a bad example. Something that's coming to mind now is it could be a musician singing about good things, or a musician singing, rapping about really terrible things, like the way you speak to someone, how you treat someone, man or female. We can decide who our heroes are. Not that I'm a hero, I'm not saying that, but we can decide what examples we like. Yeah, we can decide what examples we think, yeah, I'll take a bit of that. Because everything goes into us, we're like sponges, So what I'm aware of now, when I'm not using all these substances like alcohol, like processed foods, or when I'm thinking about watching these things, drugs, gambling, and then things like caffeine. It's no small thing. Just because the government say it's legal, it's no small thing. Think of the amount of money that caffeine makes. It's a drug, 100%. There's a reason why you're frazzled. There's a reason why you can't concentrate. There's a reason why you're full of anxiety. There's a reason why you're short-tempered. There's a reason why first thing on a morning, you're walking around with your caffeinated drink at work, regardless of what you're doing. Not feeling okay until you've had a little bit. Okay, I can get going now. That's called addiction. That's called dependency. That's like, it's like a dependency on an outside source that you don't need until you start. This is what I'm realizing. And then when you come off it, why do you feel horrendous? It's a drug. It's like, when at the rehab, at the treatment center, when anyone's coming off any kind of medication, they have to taper off it. These things are strong, man. These things, they stop making your body work how it's supposed to work. I'm going off on a tangent here, and I'm not really qualified on a scientific level to talk about it, but what I can tell you about is my experience. And my experience with those substances are, you don't need them until you start them. And when you start them, my gosh, it's hard to get off them. And especially something that's so socially acceptable, like caffeine, like alcohol, like gambling. so socially acceptable, yet they cause so much destruction, they cause so much pain, and they cause so much anxiety, distress, mayhem. So, you know, I'm glad one person at least is listening to this and doing something about their caffeine use. It's an issue. I'm sorry, but it's an issue. I realize that coming out of it, 9 days out of it, and then really being aware when you do come out of something and seeing it and seeing the amount that people have and that people use and how they use it. Yeah, it's an issue. But I'll just do what I do, you know, keep on shining my light, and more will be revealed, I guess. More will be revealed. I don't know. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my friend who had the sleep apnea, who, you know, told me that because of he was having all these shots of espresso, and yet he was struggling with his sleep. A previous sponsor that had the sleep apnea, that had the machine, you know, wearing a machine on your nose and on your head at night, and and this machine going off like you've almost got muscular dystrophy or something, and you can't breathe without help from a machine. Yet you're having 10, 15 shots of espresso a day, 10 shots of espresso a day, double, triple, grande americano, venti americano. Can I have a triple shot with that? Then I'll have a double later. Wondering why we can't get to sleep, wondering why we can't, you know, concentrate, wondering why we feel an impending doom, wondering why we feel anxious, wondering why we're waking up even when we do get sleep, but we still don't feel like we slept because we're not getting the deep sleep, we're not getting the REM sleep. So yeah, my thing would be this: if you don't feel like you can get off caffeine right now, or you're like, it's too much, man, I ain't stopping caffeine. I know people like this with the drinking stuff, like, I can't stop drinking. Like, okay, why not say to yourself, I'm not going to drink after 12 o'clock in the day, or 1 o'clock, have a cut-off point. Or I'm going to only drink decaf. I'll, you know, try and have a look at your intake. And especially if you're on things like Adderall or Vyvanse, and you're already taking stimulants, holy moly, why would you want to be putting caffeine on top of that? Like, or these pre-workout drinks that are loaded with hundreds of milligrams of caffeine, or these Rockstar drinks, or these Rain drinks, or Monster drinks, these energy drinks. Wow, like, seriously, look after yourself. Look after yourself. Think about it. Really think about it. Drink some bloody water. Come on, drink some water. Get some water in you. You know, so many people don't want to drink water. It's like people don't want to drink veg. It's stuff that's good for you. Do it. Reward yourself. You know, whatever it takes, twist it, put it with something else, you know. If I drink a pint of water, I get a decaf coffee. You know, if I drink 2 pints of water or a gallon of water, I can have a coffee in the morning. Like, try and find a reward system. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm talking to my previous self. I'm talking to myself now. I'm talking to my future self. You know, and it's important. It's important. You know, it's like, if you wanted to mess people up, if you wanted to mess an animal up, just give it caffeine all day. You know, give it alcohol all day. Give it processed foods all day. That animal would be shot to pieces. And yet we do that to ourselves all the time. You know, you wouldn't treat an animal like that. You wouldn't do that to it. You'd give it fresh water, put some water in its bowl. You would give it good food. You would make sure it's not crap. You would give the dog good food, or the cat good food. And then, you know, you wouldn't just be feeding them anything. And you won't put a cigarette in its mouth. You won't make the cat or the dog vape, would you? Here, have this coffee. Here, have this vape. Come here, lassie. Have this vape. Now have this coffee. Here, have this In-N-Out burger. Here, now have this bit of cake. Come on, lassie. Here you go. Now you have another coffee because you get looking a bit tired. Come on. You know, Yeah, it's something to think about, right? Something to think about. So, to my little bro, I'm proud of the decisions you're making. Keep at it, pal. It's important. It's not all about, I want to say this to myself as well, it's not all about what's in your bank account. It's what's in your spiritual bank account, you know? Okay? So if you're watching this, love you. Va con Deus.